The COP29, held in Baku, Azerbaijan, concluded with several key decisions and targets aiming at addressing climate change. So, before that, let us talk about some quotes said by Antonio Guterres, that is the United Nations Secretary General. He said that this is a COP to deliver justice in the face of climate catastrophe, to help move us closer to securing a decent world for all humanity. He also said, I urge every party to step up, pick up the pace and deliver. The need is urgent, the rewards are great, and the time is short. So this also says that why it is important to act now. That is, the ongoing climate crisis is more danger than what we think. So let us move. What are the key agreements, key changes, key decisions and targets concluded in this COP29? So they said that the climate finance goal has been tripled. So the developed countries committed to provide at least $300 billion annually to developing countries by 2035, a significant increase from the previous 100 billion goal. Okay, so the broader finance target, a broader target of 1.3 trillion in annual climate finance by 2035 was set, including private and public sources. So the new carbon market rules were agreed upon, allowing the wealthy nations to purchase carbon offsets from developing countries. And the operationalization of loss and damage fund established at COP27 has also been advanced. And the work plan was adapted to elevate the voices of indigenous peoples and local communities in climate action. So, while the COP29 made a significant progress on climate finance, some observers expressed disappointment that more ambitious targets for emissions reductions were not achieved. However, the increased focus on climate finance and recognition of the role of indigenous peoples and local communities are considered positive steps. So, it is important to note that the full implication of this decision will unfold over time. Continued international cooperation and implementation of these commitments will be crucial to address the global climate crisis. So, I have seen some of the articles that says where the Arab group rejects the COP29 text target fossil fuels. So they say that the Arab group will not accept any text that targets any specific sectors, including fossil fuel. And there is also some non-profit organization like Young Go. It is an official children and youth constituency of United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. So it is a vibrant global network of children and youth activists as well as youth NGOs who contribute to shape the intergovernmental climate change policies and strive to empower youth to formally bring their voices to UNFCCC's process. And there is some program that says that it is a global climate skills program. So this program works with young people to sow the seeds of a fair transition away from fossil fuels. So they say that we work with marginalized young people aged 18 to 30 to provide them with resources needed to be resilient to impacts of climate change. The program focuses on equipping young people with green skills through training, mentorship and grants. So this picture says that how one can achieve $1 trillion within 2030. So they have said that the bilateral public finance from developed countries will contribute about 80 to $100 billion by 2030, while the multilateral development banks will contribute to 240 to $300 billion by 2030. And the expansion of contributor base, that is expand voluntary contribution from other rich and high emitting countries, example China, South Korea, Saudi Arabia, will contribute nearly 30 to $50 billion by 2030. And the innovative sources such as special drawing rights, depth swaps and levies on fossil fuels, shipping and aviation will contribute up to 140 to $160 billion by 2030. And the private finance, that is international private finance, including finance mobilized by bilaterals, MDBs and other public sources, reaching $650 billion by 2035. So they will contribute us 450 to 550 billion dollar by 2030. So these will lead to achieve the target of getting $1 trillion by 2030. So they have given a finance staircase like this. So Ali Mohammed, the special climate envoy from Kenya and chair of African group of negotiators, said that the proposed target to mobilize 250 billion per year by 2035 is totally unacceptable and inadequate to deliver the Paris Agreement. Moreover, it is no longer developed countries who are responsible under this formulation. It is rendered as a target for which all countries are responsible and where developed countries are taking the lead. This is unacceptable, he said like this. We will see some words that was discussed during COP29. They say that the UN climate chief Simon Steele said that this deal will help keep the clean energy boom growing and protect billions of lives like any insurance policy. It only works if the premiums are paid in full and on time. And Chandni Raina, an Indian delegation representative, said, I regret to say that this document is nothing more than an optical illusion. This is, in our opinion, will not address the enormity of challenge we all face. Therefore, we oppose the adoption of this document. So, another quote we get from this COP29 Baku, Azerbaijan is that Tina Stich says that climate envoy for Marshall Islands said her specific island state was leaving, with the small portion of funding climate vulnerable countries urgently need. It isn't nearly enough, but it is a start, and we have made it clear that these funds must come with fewer obstacles so they reach those who need them most. And another quote that we have got from COP29 is that Manuel Pulgar Vidal, WWF Global Climate Change and Energy Lead and former Environmental Minister and COP20 President, he said that the world has been let down by this weak climate finance deal. At this pivotal moment for planet, this failure threatens to set back global efforts to tackle the climate crisis, and it risks leaving vulnerable communities exposed to an onslaught of escalating climate catastrophes. This is a serious blow to climate action, but it must not stall the solutions that are desperately needed around the world. So, some of a few notes that I have taken from the internet.